So what we're looking at doing here is replacing these old plastic lunch containers with some half decent wooden boxes. All this material here has been reclaimed from pallets and old packing material. These are the sizes here we're looking at using. Essentially I want these to look kind of like the other boxes I've made, my other storage boxes I've made in the shed here, so I can store everything. I'm going to put a plate on the front like this. That way I can write whatever it is in there with a whiteboard marker, and then if I do change what's inside it, I can just wipe it off and change it out. Now I've started setting up my table here with a right angle, so first thing I'll do is I'll start making my first side here. So once I get those made, I'll make my second side here, then we'll put them back in the square and we'll make our box. We've got a real basic nail gun, just runs off the air compressor. Going to use some just standard wood glue. I'm going to use 30mm nails in the gun there, and it's got a little bit of air tool oil. I'm going to put like maybe 3-4 drops up in the air tool before I start, and that keeps everything lubricated there. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to use our right angle, keep things pretty square. We're going to put a bit of glue up on here, put it into our corner, then I'll get my nail gun. The main thing I need to be careful of is to keep my hands away from the corner, from where the nail's going to be, so that I don't get a nail through my finger. So I'll make sure I hold it away from the corner, then I'll just nail it off like this, and that'll keep it together. Now that's all my fronts done. Now they're my fronts because some of this wood had a nice radius already machined on it, and I made sure all the sides had that as well. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that that radius goes on the outside, and I made sure that all the fronts had a nice radius on it. So now with the fronts done there, I'm going to come around and do the back. Now the back's going to have just well, it's just standard square edge. Now this side here we had to trim it back to make it the 70mm high. So I'll put that to the bottom so I get a nice nice face to the bottom for when we glue the base on there, which they're already cut there. And I'll do exactly the same thing, put it up in the jig, and we'll make our backs there, and away we go. Right, there's our fronts made, there's our backs made. So now we're going to put them together. So we'll put them together on the frame here. So we'll do the same thing again. We'll glue down this face here, we'll glue down that face, put it up into the corner. I'll just nail this way this time, and then we'll spin it around and do the same thing for that corner over there, and then that will be our basic box made. That's our box frames complete now. So we'll have a look at putting the bases on. Now the bases, I'm just using a thin piece of well, this was packing board. It was on top of a crate, and it's just, I don't know, it's about 3mm thick. And what we're going to do here, we're going to put some glue all around our edge here. This is the base of it, this is the top. So we're going to put some glue around here. I've changed to 16mm nails in the gun here, and what we'll do is we'll put this on. I'll put all the error that is in this board and that is in the box back to the back of the box, so that my front will be flush and neat. Then I will nail with the gun. I'm going to nail in each corner and in the center, and then I'll get these little flathead nails, and they are called wallboard nails. They've got a little head on them. And I will put one in the middle here. Where are we? There, there, there. And I'll put 2 there and there. Just because it's got a bit of length to it. Alright, let's get these bases on. Our boxes are made now. We've got our bases knocked in there. We've got all our little nails in there. So now we're going to look at our front plates that are going to go across the front here. I've got a strip of brass, so I'm going to cut some little strips off, about 75 long, and then we'll drill some holes in the corners here so we can screw it on the box, and that'll allow us to write whatever's in the box on the front plate. We're in the mill now. We're going to put our little screw holes in the corners here. So what we're going to do is we'll drill down there like that. Then what I'll do is I'll flip the plate over and I'll drill down that same spot again, and that way our holes will be the same distance from the ends out. Now what I've done to line up the edge here is just put my ruler on the side of the jaws, and I've got a packer down in there. So all I do is just slide along to the edge of the jaws there, lock it off, and those holes will all be in the same spot. There's the plates all drilled there now, all deburred. I've screwed one on there, looks pretty good. So all it is a matter of putting them on the front face here, measuring off one side and the top, getting it looking square, and screwing it off with a round head with a flat back screw. There's all our boxes with our plates screwed on. Looking pretty good. Here's my nut and bolt area there now. You can see what I've got there. I've got all my washers, nuts and miscellaneous bits all in little, I made some little racks there a few years ago for those. So this is basically a before and this is after. They all work pretty good. They slide in and out, and I can hang them there, have a look through and see what I want. So all works pretty good. So if you enjoy the adventures we're having here at DM Engineering, click that subscribe button down the bottom there, and we'll see you next video.